Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and happy football weekend, everyone, because we know this is a big weekend. I know what I'm doing all day tomorrow, all day Saturday, and probably a little bit Sunday. And, of course, Monday night, the Dolphins are playing on TV, so I'll probably watch them play the Jets.
Oh, what are you doing tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to play golf a little bit, and I might watch some football, but there's not a whole lot that really matters tomorrow. The big events start on Saturday, so if you want to talk about it, let's go ahead. Why don't we talk about the Georgia Tech-Georgia game, Joseph? Who do you think is going to win and why?
I think Georgia's going to win because they're obviously the better team, and they've won 17 years in a row.
Well, that's
my pick for the game: 28-17 Georgia.
28-17 Georgia. I think Georgia's clearly the dominant team and might be, at this point, the best team in the SEC. Alabama might have something to say about that, but Georgia's certainly a powerhouse. But you know what? Georgia Tech's kind of on a roll. No one's talking about Georgia Tech right now. So it'd be funny. I mean, I'd probably laugh a lot. But it would be funny if Georgia Tech were to go into Sanford Stadium and beat the Dogs. But I don't see that happening. I'll take Georgia on that one, 34 to, we'll go 17. South Carolina, Clemson. Wow. They've actually turned this into a little rivalry out here. They don't like each other. Who's going to win?
Well, I'm picking South Carolina, trying to figure out the reason why.
They have no defense.
It's got a good point.
They don't play defense.
I'm picking Clemson, even though South Carolina's been winning this game for a while now.
Well, you know, Clemson's coach Dabo Swinney, I hear, is a potential candidate for the Florida job. That's just a rumor. I don't know anything. Just saying. And, of course, South Carolina has no defense whatsoever.
They have good offense.
Decent. That's why I'm going to take South Carolina. They own Clemson. They always have for some reason. Give me South Kakalaki, 27 to 25. Weird score.
All right, I'm picking Clemson, 31 to 28.
31-28. That's going to be a good game.
In overtime.
Now, Georgia Tech and Georgia and South Carolina Clemson play at the same time on Saturday morning. So we will have the remote control. We'll be going back and forth and back and forth. That'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Good. We hope they're not blowouts because I'd like to see those two good games. We've got the 2:30 doubleheader, Florida State and Florida. Lord.
I think this was going to be this week's upset alert for me, but I think Florida State definitely has an advantage being at home.
Obviously.
Even though they're going to get down by at least like 21 in the first half and then come back like they always do.
You believe Florida is going to score 21 points on Florida State in the first half? No? You just said
at least two scores though.
Okay. I remember when this was a big game, you know, when Florida was good.
Yeah.
There was a time, remember, Florida was once a good team. That was, what, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 years ago.
Was that like when that Tebow kid was there?
Tebow was one of the greatest. I remember Florida in the 80s. A lot of people don't remember. Before Spurrier, Florida had some good teams. They really did. The Galen Hall era, there's some good teams. I remember when Florida beat FSU, I believe, 55-14. I don't know why that number pops out, but it was a good day for some people who were Florida fans at the time. My pick on this game is I'm going to take Florida State to win 27-17. I like Florida to hang with them early and somehow find a way to lose, and Florida State to somehow find a way to win, and Jameis gets to enjoy his crab legs on Saturday night. What's your score? Have you named? You said 31-28? No.
I'm thinking.
That was another game.
31-27.
31. That's a big difference. Than 31-28. Okay. Remember when the Egg Bowl was supposed to be the biggest thing in the SEC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Anyway, it's going to be on CBS Game of the Week. Mississippi. Wow, a month ago they were like all for the playoff and they're all that, and now one loss to Auburn. Their season went on the skids. Mississippi State, of course, they lost to Alabama by 5. The game was not that close, in my opinion.
They were down 17-3 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I think here, a month ago or 6 weeks ago, I thought Mississippi would probably win this game. They do have a strong defense, Ole Miss, and they were playing at home. Right now, I just wonder if Mississippi's will is broken. Of course, Dak Prescott's a great quarterback. Mississippi State has a lot to play for. Whether or not they are in the SEC, I don't know. I think Alabama's probably in the driver's seat there, but Mississippi State could sneak into the Final Four. Let's go ahead and call it a Final Four. It's not basketball, but it's four and it's final, so it's a Final Four. They could sneak into this Final Four without having to go to the Georgia Dome. I would rather be in their shoes. Just saying. Final score here, I like Mississippi State 24. Ole Miss, with a little bit of heart here, we're going to come out and score 20. What do you say?
I saw yesterday, when I was making my picks, before I lost my paper, I saw that Mississippi State was a 3-point favorite. Now, I don't believe that to be true. And I'm picking Mississippi State in a really high-scoring game, 38-27.
Wow, that would be a lot of points on that land-sharp defense. They're supposed to be good, right? Well, they're great when they don't play anybody. Anyway, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, USC. Those are, they used to be good games. They ain't nothing. All right, let's skip those.
It's a puny Pac-12.
Yeah, it's something. Anyway, back to the game that everyone's talked about this week, especially here in Alabama. The Iron Bowl, everyone's made a big deal out of this game, especially coming off the heels of what happened at Jordan-Hare Stadium last year with the amazing Kick 6. Let me say this. Auburn, of course, are struggling right now at Bryant-Denny Stadium. This is what Auburn has done offensively. In 2000, no touchdowns. They won the game 9-0. Good defense there. In 2004, Auburn had a great team, possibly the best Auburn team I've ever seen. Of course, the first half, no points. Won the game 21-13. They blew them out in the third quarter. 2008, Auburn did not score the game. 2010, Auburn had 7 points at halftime. 2012, Auburn did not score the game. So basically, in the last 3 years, the last 3 trips to Bryant-Denny Stadium, Auburn has scored 7 points in the first half, combined the 3 first halves, and allowed 76. So obviously, the big focus on Auburn this year is don't get off to a slow start, don't get off to a slow start. Well, that's been a problem. Of course, at Mississippi State, it was 21-0 early, and then, of course, they got down. Well, they started off and took the lead at Georgia.
They had a slow start against Samford.
Yeah, they did have a slow start against Samford. They cannot afford to do that again in Tuscaloosa. Of course, I'm not so sure this is the best Alabama team that I've seen. It's a good Alabama team. It's not it's not think it's as good as last year's Alabama team.
No.
I don't think it is. They could win the national championship, but they're just not as good. Anyway, Auburn has got to avoid the slow start. Auburn has got to find a way to cover these receivers at Alabama.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, Lord, Auburn has allowed 5 consecutive SEC teams to score 30 or more points. You can't do this against Alabama. How do you think Auburn's going to do?
I think we'll do. Well, I never think our defense will do good, but usually we do terrible. But this time I think we'll be better and just do a little bit bad and put Jonathan Jones at Amari Cooper.
Or possibly if they could put 4 guys on Amari Cooper and maybe put 5 guys on another receiver, and no, that's illegal. Can't do that. And hopefully, if Auburn does not have a rash of penalties. Of course, penalties has been killer. Whether it's the stupid late hits out of bounds or the phantom holds that aren't necessarily there. And sometimes there's a lot of holds that happen on the other team that the referees conveniently have not seen this season. But anyway, if you're going to win this game, you can't turn the ball over, and you can't have 100 yards worth of penalties. They've got to play mistake-free football and hope that Alabama's quarterback makes the mistakes. What's your pick?
I pick Alabama 35-24.
35-24?
And I think we'll get Bama's defense a little bit more than most people have. I think we'll try to pass around more, spread it out.
It's possible if Duke Williams is a factor in this game, Auburn has a much better shot if he's 100%, which he's not going to be 100%. If he's at least 90%, he could still be a factor. I'd also like to see Auburn's running game be at the level that it was last year. Something's different. Even though Cameron Artis-Payne has had a great season, just something seems to be missing in the rushing attack.
Well, obviously, Nick kept it way more than last year than he has this year.
Well, maybe Gus has got a few tricks up his sleeve. We'll find out on Saturday. Hey, thanks for watching, and have a great football weekend.
And Merry Christmas.
Well, that too.